Spring training games have a habit of lying to you, but every so often one tells the truth by accident. Sunday's 11-10 thriller between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox was supposed to be background noise, a warm Florida afternoon designed for stretching arms and killing time. Instead, it felt like a confession, a loud, chaotic admission that this Blue Jays roster is deeper, stranger, and more dangerous than most people realize. I know the final score favored Boston, and I genuinely couldn't care less. This wasn't about winning a spring box score. This was about watching opportunity collide with preparation and seeing Toronto quietly flex the kind of organizational muscle that only matters once the calendar flips to October. On the Blue Jays report, these are the games I circle because they tell you who a team really is beneath the headlines. The first inning alone felt like a warning shot. 4 different players driving in runs, waves of offense crashing in before anyone had settled into their seat. Eloy Jimenez, Leo Jimenez, and Arjun Nimala all announced themselves early, and already the narrative shifted. Not stars padding stats, depth pieces demanding attention. The kind of depth that makes opposing managers uncomfortable when benches shorten and matchups matter. Eloy Jimenez deserves his own moment here because that RBI double wasn't just loud, it was violent. The ball left his bat at over 104 miles per hour and traveled nearly 400 feet, the sort of contact that clears fences in most ballparks and silences skepticism just as effectively. You could almost hear the collective pause, that half second where everyone wonders, wait, is he back? I may have laughed out loud, partly in disbelief, partly in admiration. And then came the 6th inning when Eloy stopped flirting with the idea and fully committed. A solo shot that cleared the monster and left JetBlue Park entirely, struck with the kind of precision that doesn't belong to washed-up players. It belonged to someone fighting for relevance and winning. Moments later, Josh Kasevich, a name most fans scroll past without blinking, launched a 2-run homer of his own. 2 players battling for roster oxygen, both swinging like the season depended on it. That's not luck, that's pressure creating performance. Now, yes, the pitching wobbled. Fernando Perez endured a rough afternoon, and Yariel Rodriguez surrendered runs in a hurry. But context matters. February is where you stress test arms, not protect them. Perez was signed for pocket change and now throws mid-90s with real command. Rodriguez is fighting his way back into relevance after being outrighted, and this organization is deliberately throwing him into uncomfortable situations to see what survives. This is how good teams learn without bleeding later. The 9th inning rally only underlined the theme. RBI doubles from Tucker Toman and Yohendrich Pineda dragged Toronto back into it, refusing to let the game drift quietly away. Even the loss felt competitive, defiant, unfinished, and that's exactly what you want in camp. But the real intrigue sits squarely with Eloy Jimenez. This isn't a charity comeback. This is calculated opportunism. Once a top 5 prospect in baseball, once a 30-homer force, injuries pushed him to the margins, and most teams turned the page. Toronto didn't. They saw Winter League production, saw bat speed that never left, and invited him into an environment designed to squeeze value out of forgotten talent. Now he's learning first base, taking grounders alongside Vladimir Guerrero Jr., quietly expanding his usefulness. And the timing couldn't be better. With Guerrero and others leaving camp to represent their countries at the World Baseball Classic, Jimenez is about to get extended run at first during the most evaluative stretch of spring. That's not accidental, that's opportunity engineering. If he proves competent defensively and keeps hitting the ball like this, he becomes optionality, a platoon bat, a pinch hit nightmare, even a trade chip. And if it doesn't work, Toronto loses very little. That's smart baseball, the kind fans don't always notice until it pays off. Add in Arjun Nimala, just 20 years old, already looking stronger and more composed, translating off-season work into real production, and you see the blueprint. This isn't about one breakout. It's about creating an environment where 15 to 20 players believe they have a chance and play like it every single day. So don't let spring records distract you. Watch the process. Watch the competition. Watch the quiet confidence of an organization building layers beneath its stars. If you're enjoying these deeper dives, take a second to like the video, share it with a fellow Insomniac fan, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Opening day will arrive soon enough at Rogers Center, but games like this remind you why the season is won long before then. Depth isn't glamorous, it's decisive, and right now, the Blue Jays have plenty of it.